Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Tech Tuesday, where we realize here at Delta Media Group that some of the best life philosophies come from Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan. Be excellent to each other. So today, we're going to go in and take a look at the campaign system. I happened to go through all of our Tech Tuesday videos recently. I'm organizing them, I promise. And I noticed that we haven't done a campaign one for a while. So recently, we've had some questions about how the email campaign system works, how to set it up. So we're going to go over that. And also, I didn't add anything. We added some functionality to it that allows you to automatically set customers up for specific campaigns based on how that lead came into your website. So the idea is, you can set up a custom campaign for everybody that comes in from Zillow Tech Connect. So if the lead came from Zillow, they go into a special campaign that's built just for customers that came from Zillow. So something we've been working on for a while, and it is now in place. So let's jump in and take a look at it. So first off, to get to the campaign system, we're going to go down to Customers and Email Campaign. There we are, Campaigns and Action Plans. It used to be email campaigns. And that takes us into the campaign interface. So the first thing we have here at the top is just a representation of the groups we have in the system. This is the same interface that shows up on your Customer Center. This allows you to add new groups. It allows you to manage the groups you currently have. And you can see I have a number of test groups in here. And then you can also see the automatic groups that are created based on customer statuses. So, for example, if you have customers that you've set to the closed transaction status, they'll automatically be in this group. And that allows you to easily add this group to any kind of marketing emails that can go out. And then as we go down, these are my custom created groups. So I've created these groups and added customers to them. To do that, I would go to Add New Group. This is my group. Hit Add New Group, and that'll create the group and add it to the list down here. Now, because I started it with a T, it's going to be later in the alphabet, but I would go down, find my group, click on Actions. I can click on View to see everybody that's in the group currently, which would be 0 with my new group. Or I can click on Edit if I want to go in and add customers to the group. Now anybody that I put a check mark next to is going to be in the group, and anybody without a check mark is not. And then if I go over here, I can narrow it down to specific customers. So if there's a specific account I want to add to this group, I just type their name in. You can see it narrows the list down, and I can put a check mark there. When I have all the members in the group that I want, I'll just click on Save Group. And that's all there is to it. So now those customers are in that group, and those customers are counted into the total number of people in that group that shows up here. And then also you can print your mailing labels from here. So you would just click on Labels and then select your label type, and then it'll bring up a printable page with the labels laid out the way they need to be. And then lastly, you can delete any of the groups from here. So this is, like I said, the same group interface that shows up on your Customer Center. Now, as far as the actual campaign stuff, we'll move down here. Under Default Actions, this is stuff that the system is going to do automatically in relation to my groups, and this is just a place where I can read through that stuff easily without having to go through each group or each campaign. And then down here, we have the campaigns themselves. So by default, when I first hit this page, they're all collapsed. So if I want to open one up, so we'll say, for example, we have a number of groups, and actually I'll go ahead and make another campaign. Why not? So we'll say add a new campaign, and I'll call this the request source campaign, or even better yet, we'll really fine tune our examples this time. Zillow campaign. And then when I create my group, or create my campaign, I can go in here and I can also choose whether or not I want to be notified when a customer reaches the end of that campaign. So the idea would be I could set up a campaign that sends an email out automatically 10 days after a customer is added, and then again 30 days, and then 60 days, and then 180 days. Once that customer has been in that campaign for 180 days, they'll get that 180 days email, and if there are no other emails in that campaign, if I enable this, you'll get a notification that says that customer has reached the end of that campaign, so you should set them up for some other marketing so that they continue to get emails from you. So we'll click on Save. See the page reloads here, and now as we scroll down, we have our Zillow campaign. So now to expand that campaign, I'm going to click on the plus sign here, and that opens our campaign up. Now you can see, if you're familiar at all with our campaign system, we have a new box here that hasn't been here before, this request source box. And we'll get to that, but the first thing we'll look at here is we can see the campaign is here. Campaign is currently set to active, which means if there are emails in it and there are customers in it, it will send those emails to those customers. If I wanted to disable a whole campaign, like let's say I had all my customers and emails and everything created in here, I could check this box to disable the entire campaign so that nothing goes out. So we'll turn that back on. And now the first thing we'll do is add an email. So I'm going to click on New Email or Action. We'll do New Email. Now from here, I can choose what I want to trigger this. So interval will be the first setting. Interval is the interval based on when the customer was added to the campaign. So right now it's set on day 1, so that means the day that the customer is added to the campaign, it'll send whatever email I create here. I could also set this to date if I wanted to go out on specific days, or even the first of every month I can set up here, or a specific day every year I can set that up. It's really good for holidays there. I can kick it off based on birthday. So you can see from the note here, birthday emails will not be delivered to customers who do not have a birthday entered, so obviously. But if you go in and have birthdays entered into your customer profile for each of your customer accounts, that's what will trigger this email. So for every customer that's in here, when it reaches that customer's birthday, it'll fire off this email to them. And then I can do the same thing off of purchase anniversary. And that's working off of the date set up for a property purchase within their customer profile. But what it'll do again is when it hits that date for a customer that's in this campaign, it'll fire this email off. So we'll go by interval to start off with. We'll leave that on day 1 and we'll say, welcome to my campaign. Why not? You might want to come up with something more creative than what I have there, and keep in mind that this is going to be our Zillow campaign. So the idea is that this will only pick up or only automatically pick up customers that come in via Zillow Tech Connect. So we'll go down here. Oh, I can't type. Thank you for making a request on one of my listings. There we go. And I can format this email however I'd like. We have this full WYSIWYG editor here. So if I wanted to add bulleted lists, or if I wanted to put any images in here, change the text, change the formatting, I have all the options up here in the WYSIWYG editor. Once the email looks the way I want it to, I can go down here and hit publish, and now that email is set to send. The other option I can do is, let's say I've gone in here and I'm not quite done building up this email yet. I just worked on it a little bit and I want to save it, but I don't want to finish it yet. I can hit Save Draft. It'll indicate that it's saved as a draft. You can see Publish Draft to enable sending. So right now, even if there were customers in this campaign and the campaign was enabled, this email won't be sent because it's not yet been published. To publish it, I'll go over here to Actions, and then down to Edit Draft. I can make any changes, and then I'll hit Publish. It'll confirm, and now that email is set to go out. So the next thing I can do is, in addition to adding emails to these campaigns, I can add in actions. So if I go here to New Action, I can have it create a to-do for me. And let's say I want to do this based on their birthday. So I'll put in birthday and the action. Them happy birthday. So now what it'll do, instead of sending them an email, and we'll go ahead and publish that. Okay. So now you can see we have another one here. So when they're first added to the campaign, they'll get this first email. And then when their birthday comes around, it'll automatically set a to-do up for me that will remind me to contact them and tell them happy birthday. So you can see the possibilities here, and you can go in and set up this entire campaign and even an action plan that'll build these to-dos for you. So it'll automatically remind you when the customer has been in the campaign for a certain amount of time what you should do to continually follow up with the customer. So that's step 1 to this, setting up all your emails. Once you have your emails and that's set up, and you can go back and edit these anytime, and then also you can disable these individually. So if you had an email in here that you wanted to leave out of your campaign at some point, or an action that you wanted to leave out, you can go over here and you can hit disable, and now you can see that button turns red, so the rest of the campaign will run, but that one email or action will just be skipped over. So we'll re-enable that one. Now once your emails are all set up the way you want, and all your actions are set up the way you want, you can add customers to the campaign. Now in this case, we're mainly looking at adding customers in automatically. However, you can also go up here, and this will work for all the campaigns. I can just go to Customers Groups, and now you can see I have my Groups interface up here at the top, and then my Customers interface down here. I can select individual customers that I want to manually add to this campaign, Or I can select whole customer groups that I want to add to this campaign. And you can see those virtual groups are in there also. So if I just wanted all of my active customers to be in this campaign, I could check that box and then let the system handle that for me automatically. So everybody that's set as active will be in. If I change their status, they'll be taken out of this campaign. Or if I change anybody to the active status, it'll put them in. So a better example for that might be closed transaction. If I set up a campaign to work that I only want to start going out once I've marked a customer as closed transaction, I can do that. I can set this all up, say close transaction, and then whenever I change their status, it'll automatically start sending the emails in this campaign. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool, right? Now the other thing I can do here is if I'm building a campaign that I just want to automatically go to everybody, I can check this box at the top that says add all new and existing contacts. By doing that, anybody that's in my system now, anybody in my database now, or anybody that comes in that I either add manually or gets reassigned to me or comes in through my website will all automatically get dropped into this campaign and start getting those emails. So once I set my customers up, and this one, in this case, I'll just leave this one blank because we're going to set this up a little bit differently. I would just click on save, so we'll just cancel this for now. Now the next thing, and the new feature I can do here, is under request source, I can choose an individual request source that I want to add to this campaign automatically. And this is where that Zillow stuff comes in, or really any source that comes in. So maybe I want customers to be added to a different campaign when they come from the company website versus when they come from my website. I can go in here and let's say I want to make this the company website campaign. So we'll scroll down here and we'll find here's company mobile website and then here's company website. So by checking those boxes, it's automatically going to take all the customers that came in from those sources and put this in the campaign for me. So in our case, we made this the Zillow campaign. So I'm going to scroll down here and we have Zillow Group, ZTC, and truly a ZTC. ZTC, can't talk today either. ZTC stands for Zillow Tech Connect. So what that's doing is if you've set up Zillow Tech Connect, and then we have another video on that, customers will automatically come into your CRM in our system whenever they make a request that goes to you from Zillow. So if I check both of these boxes and I save that, changes have been saved, there we go. What it's going to do is every time a customer comes in from those sources, it'll automatically drop them into this campaign, and then they'll start receiving all of the emails in this campaign, and all the actions will start being created for all those customers as well. So that gives you a lot of control over really deciding how you market to specific customers, because the idea is the more you can personalize your marketing efforts to a customer, the more engagement you're going to get. You know, the more interest you're going to have and the better relationship you can build with them ultimately. The idea is if you've built a really good relationship with a customer, you're the one that they're going to go to whenever it comes time for them to, buy or sell their home. So that is the whole premise here. Now the next thing you can do as part of the campaign system is under this customers and groups panel here, you can see all the people that have been added. So if I had selected add all new and existing customers, it would just say over here that all customers are in this campaign. But if I start adding them individually, it'll actually list them out here or list out the groups that I've added. And this add customer button does exactly the same thing as this customers and groups button. It's just another way that you can add customers or groups into your campaign. So there you have it. The last thing you can do with campaigns is you can delete them. So if you have a campaign that is a dated one, it's been up for a while, you just hit the delete button and then you confirm it and that campaign goes away. I would delete it, but I want to leave my campaign in here. I like it. I think we did a good job. Now the other thing I'll point out just real quick while we're in the campaign system is that there are also some system campaigns in here that we've built on our end. So this holidays campaign that's labeled a system campaign, that's one that we've built on our end that we just make available to everyone. If I expand that, you can see there are a number of emails that are already in there. And I have Group A in there, but I could add everyone if I wanted to. So you have different options available for these because as a system campaign, you don't have the ability to edit these, but you could disable the whole campaign and just make copies of these emails if you wanted to make your own version of it. And then lastly, there are campaigns in here that the company has created for you. So those are accessible to you also. And those company campaigns, depending on how they were set up by the company, they may also give you the ability to go in and edit those or not. So you'll see those as you go down this list. Basically, if you didn't create it and it doesn't say system campaign, then it was a company-created campaign that you have access to and can add your customers to and use. So the idea is the company has the ability to kind of build content for you that way. Now, the last thing that I want to cover with the campaign system, and we've seen a little bit of it, though I don't have a lot of campaign emails that are going to make for good examples, but you can see here we have sent, opened, and click-through. And what that's doing is actually showing you the performance of each one of the campaign emails individually. So when this goes out, it'll send out an email. It'll show me how many were sent. It'll show me how many of those sent emails were opened and how many ultimately the customer clicked through on. Now let me see. Do I have any holidays I haven't sent? Oh, here's one. So here's a good example. So you can see this Happy Holidays email went out. It sent out 13 emails, and actually I've got 13 people in that group. Of those emails, one of them were opened, and there were no click-throughs. If I go to Actions, I can click on History, and I can see that information in a more detailed format. So it shows me the same information, how many sent, opened, and clicked through, but then it shows me individually everybody that it sent to, and then the date that it sent, whether or not it opened, and whether or not they clicked through on it. That way you can see actually customer by customer what kind of engagement you have there. So there you have it. That is the campaign system. As always, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, feel free to email us at support@deltagroup.com or give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer any questions or walk you through anything you need. You can also comment on any of our videos on Facebook or YouTube, and to get notified of these videos when they come up, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the little, there's a bell icon somewhere, right? That's what I'm told. There's a bell icon, right? There's a bell icon. If you click on the bell icon, not only will you be subscribed, but you'll get notifications when we post new videos or when we go live with our Tech Tuesday videos every Tuesday at 9:30. So, thanks a lot for joining me, and I will see you again next week.